Thanks for joining me. I'm Laura and I garden in Zone 6, Connecticut. And today I'm going to take you all on a little tour of my DIY greenhouse. I have some footage of the outside that I shot a little while ago, like right after I finished it. So I'm going to insert that here. And then we will come inside and I'll show you around some of the things that I did to kind of support the structure. And I'll just give you a little tour. So we'll see you in a minute. So here is a look at the outside of the greenhouse. First we're going to look at the door, which actually I've struggled with a little bit. I made that last and I didn't do the best job measuring. So it's not perfect. None of it's perfect, but the door is especially not perfect. We've since tried to add some pool noodles to it to insulate better and to just get a better seal when you close the door. And we did put a few locks on the outside just to hold it closed. It does get kind of windy sometimes. So there's the door and the lock. So basically I made this out of a pop-up canopy, like one of those 10 by 10 pop-up gazebo style canopies. They cost like $100 from Walmart. We had an extra one and I thought, I think I can make a greenhouse out of this. And that's what I did. So basically I put up first I dug some holes so that it wouldn't be quite as tall and so that it would be more stable. I wanted it to be really stable because, like I said, we do get some winds, and when it gets windy, one time we had a tree fall down, so I just don't want anything like that to happen. So I tried to really reinforce it. So first I dug holes for the 4 legs of the canopy, and I sunk them into the ground probably a foot to 18 inches or so. And then I added wood around the base and more posts. Basically, one of my life mottos is use what you have to make what you need. So I used pretty much whatever we had lying around to reinforce the structure of the canopy. So I added wood at the base of it, and I added several pillars. I guess I don't know what you would call those, vertical supports. We even had an old metal hammock that was like huge, and I took one of the rods from there and used it as a vertical support. And then for the roof, to be sure that we didn't have any cave-ins or anything, we used cattle panels to reinforce the roof. When I put the greenhouse up, my intention was to just use it for the season and then take it back down for the summer. But I wanted to kind of leave some of the structure intact. So the cattle panels, I was thinking, possibly I could grow up the side of the raised bed. They come down all the way to the raised bed and then over the canopy. So we'll see what happens. I may leave that. I may not. We'll just see what happens over the summer. But I'm going to have to make a decision soon about whether or not I want to take it down for the summer. So what else? Let's see. I guess that's pretty much it. I will show you guys the inside and try to explain a little bit better about how I use the cattle panels. And I'll show you some of the more supporting things that I did to it. And that's it for now. I'll see you guys inside. Okay, so here we go inside. It's kind of hard to get a wide shot, but it is only 10 by 10. So let's see. Show you around first. And we'll talk a little bit about the structure. So here's the cattle panels that I was talking about. We have 2 overlapped. Actually, I think there might be 3. So they go all the way up and over. So that when it snows, the snow is not caving in the roof. And here you can see how I just added some wood and zip tied. I used screws and zip ties and put everything all together that way. I used this post from our old hammock to support this side. This is the north facing side. And I used these metal rods that I found to kind of make an arch in the roof and support that more. And then I also have, it's hard to see, but I have 2 pallets on the west facing side. When it gets windy, most of the wind comes from that direction, so I wanted to reinforce that side the most. So we have the 2 pallets there, and we also have the raised bed on this side, just outside of the greenhouse. So we've had some pretty severe storms already since I put it up, and this thing has held up so well. I'm really proud of myself. So because it is only greenhouse plastic and not glass, there's no real insulation. That's just a little flap that's come down. We have some overlapping. But because it is not insulated, it doesn't have a lot of heat. I watched as many videos as I could about heating the greenhouse without a heater, and some of the suggestions were to get 55-gallon barrels of water. So we found some on Facebook Marketplace. They were empty, they were clean, and they're black, so they absorb the most heat. And I think since I've put them in, they maybe increase the temperature a few degrees. I do have this digital thermometer that I got on Amazon. It's called Govee. So this hooks up to like an app in your phone, so I can monitor the temperature in here from inside my house. It's not exactly math friendly. I'm not someone who deals with graphs very well, so really all I do is like look at the temperature, but they offer some graphs and stuff in the app. I just don't understand them. I have some plants over here that I'm just overwintering. Hopefully I'll be able to plant them out soon, actually. A couple of heuchera, a couple of hydrangeas, a couple of these little evergreen trees that we got at Christmas time. This I had to pull out of the front. It's just a little emerald green arborvitae. I had to pull it out because the deer stripped it completely almost. But you can see where it's starting to put out some new green. So that's good. I got this bird's nest spruce on clearance at the end of the season. That's my favorite way to shop. We got this Leyland cypress Christmas tree thing right after Christmas for like 75% off. This is just an old box that we found at the swap shed, and I just put my seed starting mix in there. On the north side, on the outside, we also piled up a bunch of leaves to try to trap in some heat. And then under here, I have a compost pile. It's just held in with these little gates, and then I added this wire so it doesn't all spill. And that is supposed to increase the temperature as well. Oh, I have a little spot for my dog over here because he joins me. This is the bird cage that I told you guys about in my other video. If you haven't seen that, I'll link it at the end. And we have some seedlings out here. I moved those larkspur into this one to try to give them deeper roots. Hopefully they'll recover. I really was hoping to plant them out soon, the larkspur, because they can handle the temperatures, and I have some hoops and covers that I want to use. More seedlings. This little juniper I got on Amazon. And then this little guy, he's at Walmart right now, you guys, for like $10. And he just reminded me of my dad. I love gnomes anyway, but this one, my dad loves peace, and he has a white beard, so it's him as a gnome. Just some other little trinkets. And then on this side we have another shelf, so there's plenty of space for the seedlings when they're ready to be brought out. This side faces south, and this is where the raised bed is, right outside. So I was saying when I was talking about the outside that possibly we could remove the plastic and grow up these cattle panels and over. I'm talking like pumpkins, squash, that kind of thing. So we'll see what happens with that. But there's plenty of room for seedlings out here. Right now we just have the real cold hardy stuff out in the greenhouse, and everything else is inside. So that's pretty much it. It gets pretty hot in here during the day when it's sunny. For example, right now it's like 40 degrees outside, and it is 59.9 in here, and it is only 9:30 in the morning in the middle or beginning of March. So it gets pretty warm, but it doesn't hold a lot of heat at night. So far, I think it's held about 3 degrees above whatever the temperature is outside. I've been keeping like a notebook, so I'm gonna keep doing that. And I did see that if you like, the more plants you put in the greenhouse, the warmer it stays. So that's another thing we can try. And then when it gets further down the line, maybe I'll turn the heater on. We'll see. But you can see it's warm in here. So thank you guys for joining me. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer them in the comments. Thank you for joining me. Please like and subscribe, and have a great day.